Hello viewers, welcome back to Daily Retro. Today we're going to give you an overview of my sim racing rig. I believe I've got probably the best setup for PlayStation 5 with a Fanatec kit. So we're going to give you an overview of that, starting with the main product that puts all of this together, which is the Podium wheelbase, aka the DD1 by Fanatec. And that came in this box. As you can see, it's an official F1 product, but it is officially licensed for PlayStation 4. So obviously it works with PlayStation 4, but everything that works with PlayStation 4 works with PlayStation 5 as well, because it's fully compatible. You may notice it came with an F1 wheel. I no longer have that because I mainly play Rally and Assetto Corsa. So I sold that on eBay for about £500 UK. I think that was a pretty good deal because I was then able to buy other bits of this rig using that money. This was the only bit I bought new apart from the shifter, which I'll show you in a moment. So I'll just put that down and just give you a quick overview. So this is the wheelbase we were talking about. This is the Fanatec Podium wheelbase, aka the DD1. And this is a BMW GT3 rim, the older model. It's about £220 used, but they used to be about £400 brand new. This is the handbrake. It's obviously very useful for rally. Analog handbrake, so you can feel sort of 0 to 100%. It's not just on or off like other handbrakes, which is awesome for rally. This is the Fanatec Sequential shifter. So you've got, it's at the moment in sequential mode, so I can use it like an R2 rally car, where you either going down or up gears like that. And it's also got a slider on the side, which is quite satisfying, and then allows you to have the full six gears and even a 7th gear if you're driving Le Mans cars. And obviously you whack it down into reverse as well. Very difficult to drive like that, but so that's why I keep it in sequential mode most of the time, or use the paddles. But yeah, really like this setup. And then moving on to the pedals on the other side, which are down here. These are the Fanatec V3 pedals. So again, I bought these used, but they're such a high quality product and they're fully compatible with this wheelbase that I just had to get them. As you can see, all of the wiring goes into the wheelbase. So this is connected to a GT Omega Prime rig, which is an 8020 aluminium rig, and all the wiring goes up and cabled nicely all into the wheelbase, and then that is going to come out the other end to a USB port. So this is the USB port used to plug it into the PlayStation 5 or your PC. This is compatible with PC as well. One thing to note is if you are using this for PS5, you will need a computer, a Windows computer of some sort, to plug this in and just configure it. So that's for things like doing a firmware update to the wheelbase and the other parts like the wheel. But the main thing for me was I had to set the minimum braking and the maximum braking for the pedals, because I modified the brake bushings. This meant that as soon as I had done that, you no longer have to use the knob on the back to adjust the preload on the brake pedal, and it was just pressing the pedal all the time, so it had to be plugged into a PC, reconfigured in the firmware, set the min and maxes, set it to your preference obviously, but I set it to the hardest, which a lot of people prefer, because then you're getting more load like you would in a normal car. And then you can sort of set that, and it sends it to the firmware of this wheelbase, and then all of that is portrayed when you plug it back into your PS5 or PS4, which is absolutely awesome. Did give me a few headaches when I was working it out, but I'm telling you so you don't have that same headache. And yeah, got a sliding seat for the GT Omega Prime rig, so it's great for when I have friends over to play this rig. This rig was made by a Scottish company, GT Amiga, who you may or may not have heard of, but you don't have to pay import taxes on these, which is a massive benefit. The shifter side add-on came as standard, which is great. I believe they also sell sort of add-ons to have your mouse and keyboard as well, if you're a PC and PlayStation gamer. Okay guys, so we're sat in the rig just about to play on the PS5. I'll just show you it turning on, and then we'll go through the tuning menus very quickly just to show you what settings there are. So the power button's on the back, does a little self-calibration, but then the important bit is what's in these menus. So because I've got the torque key in at the moment, which allows me to have the full 20 Newton meters of torque, it just comes with that warning. But then the settings button is right here. So we're going to there, setup 1, setup 2. I have Dirt Rally and Wreckfest set up for setup 1. So this allows you to do things like changing the steering angle maximum, the actual force feedback. I have, that was on 30 for Wreckfest, but I usually have it on about 50. So I was just rotating the knob here to adjust that. And then you just scroll across and you can set all the other settings. You can find most of these settings for specific games on the Fanatec forums, so they're quite easy to find, but the main ones you're going to want to set are to do with braking and the force feedback, and if your braking doesn't look quite right, then again you need to go and check it on the PC firmware. So we're just about to jump into a stage, guys. One thing to note, definitely need some karting gloves for this setup. The forces are extremely high. If you're looking for a beginner setup, can't recommend the Logitech G29 enough, but that's something you need to get good at, I would say, before you jump into a rig like this, just so you know you want to spend this amount of money, because it's not cheap, all this rig. But without further ado, we're going to jump into a Wales stage on Dirt Rally 2.0 in the Fiesta R5, which is a WRC2 spec car. We're using the paddle shifts for this on 50%, which is 10 Newton meters of torque, which is still 5 times more you get from a Logitech. But we're still using the manual handbrake, and yeah, we'll jump into it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Into 5 right to a crest, 80, 4 left, 50, 4 left, tightens of a crest, 80, 5 left, into 2 right long, tightens, into 3 left, 4 right, into 2 left long, tightens, 80 over bumps, 4 left long, tightens of a crest, into 2 right of a crest long, opens, into 4 right of a crest, into slow, 3 left long, tightens turn, square left, unseen, uphill, keep right of a 50, 5 right of a big crest, into 6 left long, tightens 3, tightens, to jump, into turn, 2 right tightens, into 3 left, tightens of a crest, into 4 right, into 4 left, into 2 right tightens, into 4 left, 5 right, 4 left of a bump crest, tightens slow, keep left of an 80 past junction, turn square right, into 3 left, opens of a crest, into 4 right long of a crest, into 3 left of a crest, 30, turn heavy right, into 4 left long of a crest, tightens, 100, bumps, don't cut, 6 left of a jump, to keep right of a 30, 6 left long, tightens 2, tightens, 30 of a crest, bump, 80, 6 left of a crest past junction, 40, 6 left of a big jump, 80, keep middle of a crest, jump slow, 30, 6 left into turn, open hairpin right, 50, 5 left of a crest, 50, 3 left of a crest, tightens, don't cut, into 4 right long, opens, slow, 30, 4 right long into turn, hairpin left, right, 80. Crest into 5 right long, tightens through gate and water splash. Jump 100, turn, tight hairpin right. Into 1 left long, opens 2 long, 60. 4 right, tightens over jump, opens long, tightens jump. Into 4 right, tightens through water splash, and 2 right long, tightens through gate, opens over crest 60, 5 left, opens 50, 6 right over crest, 60 over finish, 4 left long, opens over crest to stop. Well done.
Not my best time, but good fun. Yeah, 308 is my best. But that's it for this setup tour, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment if you enjoyed, and a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Cheers.